Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. It's Tuesday. It is once again Community Tuesday.
Hey Coop. Hey everybody.
What's up, Dom? How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Doing great. Saw some big news from you today on Twitter.
Yes. Yes. We are now we're done with student loan debt. No more debt at all.
Woo.
Happy. Goal for 2.5 years. It's just exciting.
That
But
is
it's on for a new
tremendous.
journey.
Congratulations, Dom. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That is great. How you doing, C. Bruce?
Doing good. Doing good. How are y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Awesome. Yeah, it is Community Tuesday, so we are stoked. Awesome to be here, Mr. Senor. Unfortunately, running a bit late, may not make it this evening, but he told me to wish you all a happy evening tonight, and he'll catch up with y'all in the chats as well if you have any product questions. But we can jump in. Did y'all see Riviera, the Matsuyama's finish? I mean, what a round of golf!
Yeah, it
That
was
was
pretty
just
exciting. I think on 16 and 17, seeing him just drop the ball. What was it? 6 and 4 inches from the hole. To secure that is pretty good. It was good golf. It was good golf to watch.
it was really pure golf. That card came up on the screen, and I was just like, "What?"
And then it was exciting. I was watching Cantley. Just apparently he got a little sickness Sunday in his form. Just it looked like it just fell apart to win there. Just could not make any birdies. Just could not get it close enough. And yeah, I was really excited for Cantley and Xander Schauffele finish there. I think Xander's due for a win, but I think it's going to come at the cost of a couple close second places.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Dusty can play, man. He's he hasn't been up there for a while, but he's got some game. Showed out. It's pretty cool to watch.
for sure, and but tough debut for Sunday Red. The shank on 18 from Tiger and the exit. I don't know. Do y'all think it was a you know food poisoning, temporary illness thing, or was it more injury related to his like longer term health?
I'm inclined to think it's a illness thing. I mean, it sounded like there are a few other stories of people maybe having something similar, some kind of stomach issue the rest of the weekend. Somebody mentioned it for Spieth. There was a video of Tom Kim running to his tee time. I don't know if that
Right.
was related or not. But yeah, I don't know. It usually, like when Tiger goes out with an actual injury, you see it, and he's pretty forthcoming about it. So I don't know. I'm hoping for the best that it was just an illness thing, and we'll see Tiger back in short order.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. There, Tiger just looks he looks jacked right now. Like I don't think I'm not sure how much his physical ability is affected right now. He looks in shape. So I'd be surprised if it was an injury.
It's true. He was really driving the ball and striking the ball really, really well, with the exception of that shank. But fun to see, Homa and Tiger having their whack fuck moments. Excuse my language, but it's the type of golf I play. I enjoy seeing the pros with relatable content on that side. Moving on, this weekend, Dom, you seem to be the key announcer for informing us which real tournaments are happening by our PGA 2K schedule. Where are we playing this weekend, and where are the
We are
pros playing?
heading. They're going to the Mexico Open in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico, at Vedanta Vallarta. Um, it's definitely a mouthful for me to say, but Yeah, the Mexico Open this weekend. Previous winner Tony Finau. The field this week is not so deep with the most notable names, but if you check out our DraftKings contest this week, our members here, that you'll see there's a lot of room for randomness in the lineups this week. I think there's going to be a lot more volatility in lineups. You're not going to have so much of the same people. It'll be pretty cool. But yeah, we'll be playing it on 2K, and you can play this on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And you can look up Link Society and the societies to find it. Remember, we're going to the Mexico Open at Vedanta this weekend, February 22nd to 25th.
Awesome stuff. C. Bruce, you may have seen some announcements across our socials this week. Got some very interesting stuff happening at Spey Bay. I know we're going to have a broader Twitter Spaces or something. We'll get Bez and more folks in here to talk about U.S. course options. Any updates on the U.S. course front before we jump into the really exciting stuff happening in Scotland?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot going on in Spey Bay, but we've been churning away in the background on the U.S. course front. We've been mentioning a few of these options that we've been working on for a while now. We continue to, we're kind of with a couple different ones at this point. We are at kind of going back and forth on term sheet stage, I guess I would call it. And one of the things we continue to raise with both of them actually, or just kind of work through, is getting the ability or getting their comfort with naming the specific course so we can talk about it in more specificity with the community. We'd obviously love to do, but sometimes easier said than done. So anyways, we're working through that. I hope that we'll be there with at least one of these options soon, like in the next few weeks, so that we can start having kind of a more fulsome discussion with the community, start, kind of let people see more specifics on options we're evaluating, getting feedback and everything else. But yeah, so a lot going on that front. I know there haven't been many announcements and such on that front in a while, but certainly a lot of work going into it, and we'll hopefully have more to share soon.
Sweet. Without further ado, tell us about the 2024 Spey Bay events and how registration is going to work. I'm really excited about this. These events look great. So for those of you here and listening in, let's jump right in. Are you going to screen share this evening?
I didn't actually test it, so I'm like scared too. But I just posted the link in chat. I don't know. I hear all these like Discord security things about not sharing your screen and everything. But I posted the link there. It's a public link. Anyone can go see the schedule and everything. So definitely take a peek at that if you haven't already. But we've sent out some comms on this kind of all over the place for the past few days. So, you're sent in the mulligan and an announcement to all data members and Links members over email, put some information out on Twitter and Instagram as well. But wanted to run through kind of how this is going to go in terms of registration and the different registration windows and what the deal is with each event and what you can register for and who can register for it and so on, and take any questions if people have any. And also just spend a second going through the schedule, because I don't think we really sat down and done that on a community call kind of in full. But yeah, hit the link and you'll see a lot of details there. Coop with the screen share. There we go. Yes, if you scroll down, Coop, you can see the full list of events here. So anyone can hit that link and go see more details here. You can actually click through on the register link for any of them at this point. It'll take you to the registration pages, although you won't actually be able to register yet. We'll share some more information on that soon. But we've got it set up so that different windows open for different membership tiers at different times. But you can see all 5 events that we have this year at Spey Bay. I think it's an awesome slate of events, and I've seen people talking about which ones they're going to go to, or I know at least between me and Coop and some others, we've been doing some trip planning and everything else already, which has been a lot of fun. But there's 5 events. We've got in May around Memorial Day weekend the spring meeting, which is basically the first time that folks will have a look at the course improvements that were made over the winter. Important distinction. I know we got some questions on it. So, we're working towards a reversible course, right? But it's not going to be playable, fully reversible right away. There's lots of work that has to happen, lots of grow in of grass that has to occur before, the kind of full 18 reversible course will be there, and it won't be there, in full this year even. So, worth noting. But in May, this is going to be the first time that people get a look at some of the new holes, new routings, new tee boxes that have opened up, and also some of the approaches into the kind of reversible routing of the course that will be playable. And I think at that point, we'll even be able to hit some shots into, kind of the reverse approach into a few greens and things like that. So you get to play around on kind of the future version of the course, and this will be the first chance to do that. So that's going to be a really, really fun experience for everyone that goes there. So that's in May. Then in June, we have our summer solstice event, which I think is going to be incredible. So that Friday, where we get over 18 hours of sunlight at Spey Bay because of how far north it is, we're basically going to have everyone. Well, you can play as much as you want, basically, during the day. You can get in 72 holes or more in a single day by just playing continuously. And then we're actually planning to kind of at the very end of the day, so like after 9 p.m., flip the routing, and people will be able to play kind of a mini loop on the reversible course, so a 7-hole reversed loop to kind of keep playing at the end of the solstice evening. And then, so that's on Friday, and then we're going to have a team competition on Saturday and Sunday. We're actually scheduling to have a traditional Scottish Highland dinner in Gordon Castle, which is just down the road from Spey Bay, on Saturday night. Yeah, I think it's going to be a ton of fun. So that's in June. Got the club championship in July, which is going to be a more, traditional stroke play competition across 3 days. We've got the member guests, Labor Day weekend, so end of August, beginning of September. Again, that one's more self-explanatory. You can bring a guest if you're a member, and we'll have a great competition and a bunch of other programming around it that weekend. And then in October, I think this is my personal favorite. I think this is going to be killer when we do it. But in October, which this time frame on odd years will be the actual Ryder Cup time frame. This year, of course, there isn't going to be a Ryder Cup hosted, but we're going to host our own version of the Ryder Cup. So U.S. versus Europe, and presumably the international team will get lumped in with Europe. We'll see how we need to balance the numbers. But we're going to do kind of the typical Ryder Cup format, 4-ball foursomes and singles. Saw some of the plans that Bert was putting together. We're going to have some uniforms for the teams. It's going to be a ton of fun. So anyways, that's in October. So those are kind of the 5 key events that we're going to have at Spey Bay this year. And so the other part we'll talk about is just the registration process. And so this is what we emailed out this week and shared on socials. But the way it'll work is starting on Friday, we'll start to open up registration for different tiers of membership, kind of in tiers. So starting on Friday at noon Eastern time, our Diamond inaugural members, so those that initiated at the Diamond inaugural member level over the summer at Spey Bay, those folks will get the first window for the first 24 hours. Then on Saturday, The platinum inaugural members will get their first chance to register. And on Sunday, it'll open up for gold inaugural members. And then this following Monday, get the actual date for that. So what is that? The 26th. At that point, it'll open up to all Spey Bay members. So anyone who wasn't part of the inaugural memberships, but purchased an overseas membership or all of our local members, they'll have a chance to register at that point as well. And so we'll have that registration open for a few days. And then on March 1st, so a week from this Friday, then it'll open up to all Links members. So at that point, any global or leisure NFT holder will be able to register as well. And I'll go through some more of the detail there because some events will be open to everyone, some just for Spey Bay members and so on. But so we'll have it tiered out like that. So those folks that kind of committed to the inaugural memberships up front will get the first crack at these events, as we've said, kind of from the get-go. So all of these events are going to have a limited number of spots. That's just the way that these will have to work given the number of spots we can have our competition on the course at the same time. So if you do have one that you have your eye on, or, you've been planning a trip around a certain time frame, do make sure that you get on it when your registration window opens and you grab the spot as soon as you can, just to lock it in, because again, we'll only have limited spots for a lot of these events. All right, so that's all the registration process. Oh, and then one other thing to mention here, and this is important. So the way this will work and the way we'll kind of validate everyone's membership so that they can register is through the email that you have in Clubhouse. So you will need to have your email address added in Clubhouse to be able to kind of link all the systems on the back end for you to complete your registration for any of these Spey Bay events. So if you don't happen to have done that yet, make sure to do that basically prior to Friday. That'll be really important to make sure you can actually register when the window opens for your membership tier.
Very important note there, and I'll follow up with announcements on that. Make sure everybody gets their email addresses registered for that. Mint condition. Good question about signature events. I think we're going to do the signature events the same way we did it previously on the Pro Shop, Bruce, or are we going to use the same format as the Spey Bay events?
Yeah, no, you're right. We'll do it the same we did it in the past, or at least that's the current plan. And so, mint condition, if you weren't here last year, it's basically just through our Pro Shop e-commerce store. And we have a way to either token gate or password protect the event page. And that's just how we did that. So that's a much easier process. And, we follow up with email for, kind of details about the event and stuff when it gets closer.
I will say it does make your Pro Shop experience much smoother if you do have your email address in Clubhouse at all times. So, and that's the same as your Shopify Shop Pay account. So, check in on that. If you have any questions, feel free to open a ticket with support, and we can get you straightened out there on your correct email address to use. But those will be dropping soon.
Yeah, 100%. It does make it a lot easier for making sure the discounts apply correctly and all of that good stuff, which, of course, everyone loves. All right, so that is going to be the registration process. Again, you can kind of click through the links already or see more detail on these pages, and you can see some of the information on the Golf Genius pages when you click through and start checking out all the dates and everything. In the email that was sent out, we also included a more detailed itinerary doc. So if you're doing like flight planning or figuring out which exact kind of parts of an event you'll be able to make or not. And so I'll pull that up and I can share that link in a bit here as well. But if you got the email, you can check that too. So we'll have more detailed information on like, okay, 9 a.m. this day, this is happening, and at noon we're having lunch, and so on and so forth for the full weekend for each of these events. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to run through, because I did get a couple questions on it, was just how it works for guests or Spey members booking, Links members booking, and so on. So. And this is captured on that webpage as well, so you can see some of this on that page. But just to give it a little more context, so for 3 of the 5 events, you will be able to bring 1 guest if you choose. So, like if you're going over to Scotland on a golf trip with a buddy, that you can bring them along for the event. So, if you are a member, you can add a guest to your registration, pay for their additional spot, and take 2 spots at the event. So those events are the spring meeting, so the first look at course improvements in May, the summer solstice in June, and then obviously the member guest around Labor Day. So at each of those, you'll be able to bring a guest if you wish, and obviously for the member guest, it's pretty much required. Then for the other 2, we're only opening up registration for members. So, for the club championship, obviously it's really just a member competition. So that'll only be open for members to register, Spey members, that is. And then for the Ryder Cup, because spots are even more limited for that one, there's only 48 spots available for that event. We're only opening that up to members to start. If we do have extra spots, eventually we may open it up for guests, but we want to make sure members get first crack to fill all those spots for the competition that weekend. And then the last thing I'll touch on, I know this has been captured, kind of all the materials we put out on the events already, but for each of these, obviously, Spey members, so people that have purchased a Spey membership, can register for any of the 5 events that are on the list here. LinksDAO members can register once their window opens up, can register for the summer solstice event. So any of the other events, any of the other 4 events, you'll have to purchase a Spey membership to be able to register. Again, obviously, since there's spots limited, we're giving priority, to those folks that have purchased a membership at the course. That said, we did want to open up, obviously, to the broader Links community and give people a chance, even if they haven't purchased a membership of the course, to experience it, join an event there. I think the summer solstice will be kind of the biggest. It has, kind of the most spots available for it. We'll get the most golf in that weekend, and we'll have a lot of other activities planned around the golf as well. So it's a great event for those folks coming over, just any LinksDAO member, even if you aren't a Spey member. So wanted to hit that too, and I've gotten some questions on it, and make sure that was clear. So yeah, if you're planning to make a trip over and haven't purchased your Spey membership, you should definitely check out the link that Cooper just dropped in the chat.
Great call out. If there are any questions on that, feel free to ping us. We do accept BitPay, so everything from Litecoin to Solana. I don't know if we accept Pepe, but maybe you can check. They update their list of coins all the time, and there's, I think, 30 or 40 different options, as well as, of course, USD or Great British Pounds. So, yeah, check in with that. Make sure to initiate if you haven't already, to check out these awesome events this summer. Super stoked to get over there. Yeah, really good stuff. And shout out to you, Chris, the Spey team, for putting all these things together. The Eng side and Zach on the design to get these sites up. Really great work on that front. I do want to shout out as well, one big DAO task that we have before this May event that we want to get done is the club rules, right? Establishing our vibes. We have a couple of Word docs floating out from the first week of LinksDAO all the way to last week with some important factors, things that are really exciting or interesting, or what our rules are, right? How we want to conduct ourselves on and off the course. So make sure to tune in for the next DAO call if you're interested in contributing to that. If you want to check in on the DAO agenda and notes doc, there are some beginning points and references on the club rules, but got to get those finalized before these club events. It's going to be a really, really fun outing, and we have to cross some T's and dot some I's before we have our first major events out there. But without further ado, it is still active in the 2024 Links Winter League, and we are on round 7 of the Winter League. I want to shout out our round 7 player of the week, RW Dennis. Put up a 19 points, whopping 19 points by shooting a 42 on the front 9 of the Karoo course at Cabot Citrus Farms. So congrats to RW Dennis on being the player of the week, and we will spin the wheel of names, of course. Too many have completed 7 rounds, but if you have, you'll be included here. There's one more week, so if you post your 8 rounds by Tuesday, a week from today, you'll be included on the wheel of names for next week for the Links Leagues. So let's spin this and see who gets the random selection of the week. Alam, congratulations. We will be in touch to get you your points. Cheers, y'all. Any questions while we're here on the Spey Bay events? I think Z-Bruce was very thorough there, but please raise your hand. Come up on stage if you have any questions about any of the topics we've covered this evening. Please come on up. If not, you can always ping us in the chats, open a support ticket, log into Clubhouse. But most importantly, be ready for this weekend as we roll out the registrations for 2024 Spey Bay events. And we will keep you updated on the signature events, which should be coming out next week as well. The next league, Weez, good question. We'll probably launch a golf season kickoff spring league, I would say, shortly after this one closes on March 5th. So mid-March, I would probably guess, C. Bruce, if you have a take on when our next league will pop off.
Yeah, that's the current plan. We haven't pegged it, doing an exact date yet, but, we're trying to have at minimum one continuously, or, a league up at all times. So you can count on it being at least something up pretty soon thereafter. After, I think it's the March 5th date that this one closes.
Beautiful. Well, without further ado, I wish you all a fantastic remainder of your Tuesday evening, and we will catch you in the chats. Stay tuned on announcements for your various windows for registration, and I hope to see all of you in Scotland this summer.
Happy Tuesday, y'all.
Thank you.